moment you pull away, what happens in her mind? At first, she doesn't think much of it. She assumes you'll be back, just like always. But then, time passes. You stay silent, and suddenly she starts feeling it. Why isn't he reaching out? Did I misjudge him? Is he really gone? That uncertainty eats at her. The more she tries to ignore it, the stronger it gets. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why walking away makes her obsessed, and how to make sure she never forgets you. 1. The unexpected power of silence. Most people believe that ignoring someone will simply push them away. But what they don't realize is that silence has a psychological effect that's impossible to ignore. The moment you stop chasing, you become a mystery, and mystery is magnetic. Think about it. What happens when you hear a song playing in the background, but before you can fully recognize it, it cuts off? Your brain automatically tries to fill in the blanks. You start humming the tune, trying to remember the lyrics. This is exactly what happens in her mind when you suddenly pull away. At first, she might dismiss it. She might think you're just busy or that you'll come back like always. But over time, the space you left behind grows larger in her mind. She starts noticing your absence. She starts thinking about you without even realizing it. And suddenly she misses you without knowing why. Most people make the mistake of never letting this moment happen. They keep chasing, checking in, and trying to prove their worth. But the real power lies in letting her feel your absence. Because when she feels it, she starts wondering. And when she starts wondering, you are already winning. 2. How ignoring triggers her instincts. People don't fall for words, they fall for feelings. And the most powerful feeling you can trigger in her is uncertainty. Imagine watching a movie where you already know exactly how it ends. No matter how good the story is, if there's no suspense, it becomes forgettable. Now compare that to a movie with an unexpected twist. Something that shocks you, keeps you on edge, and leaves you thinking about it for days. That's exactly how she experiences you when you suddenly shift your behavior. When a person is always available, there's no mystery. She never has to wonder. But when that pattern breaks, when she stops getting the instant replies, the constant validation, the predictable attention, her mind reacts. At first, she convinces herself she doesn't care. But then, time starts passing. She checks her phone, no new messages. She scrolls through social media, but you're not there. She goes through her day, and something feels off. That feeling grows. It turns into curiosity, then frustration, and eventually obsession. She starts searching for answers. She replays old conversations, wondering if she missed something. She wonders, did I do something wrong? Now she's emotionally invested in you in a way she never was before. 3. The emotional roller coaster. You put her on people. Don't just notice when someone stops chasing. They feel it, and that feeling creates a reaction. Most people assume that when they pull back, the other person will immediately realize what they've lost and come running back. But that's not how emotions work. At first, she will feel relieved. She'll think, finally, he stopped texting so much. Then, nothing happens. No messages, no calls, no attention. And that's when the emotional shift begins. She goes through different stages of realization, annoyance. Why is he suddenly acting different? Curiosity. What is he up to? Ego check. Wait, did he lose interest? Panic. Did I push him away? Every phase pulls her deeper into thinking about you. She starts wondering, is he with someone else? Did I mess this up? Why isn't he chasing anymore? And before she even realizes it, you're living rent-free in her mind. 4. Why your absence creates desire. Here's the truth about attraction. It doesn't grow when you give too much. It grows in space. Most people try to force attraction by being always available, always proving their worth. They think, if I just show them I care enough, they'll like me more. But attraction doesn't work that way. It needs contrast. What does that mean? It means that when you go from always being available to nowhere to be found, or from always texting first to her being the one to reach out, she notices. She starts to crave the attention she once took for granted. Suddenly, you're no longer predictable, and unpredictability is unforgettable. 5. The biggest mistake people make after pulling away. Most people ruin everything by breaking the silence too soon. The second she shows a little interest, they rush back in. They start texting, trying to rebuild the connection, and just like that, the mystery disappears. She realizes, oh, I still have him. No need to chase anymore. And everything you built is gone. That's why the most powerful move you can make is to remain silent. Let her wonder. Let her miss you. And most importantly, let the mystery work its magic. 6. How doubt turns into desire. The moment you pull away, something deep inside her activates, a feeling she wasn't expecting. She was so used to you being there, so certain that she had your attention, that she never truly had to wonder what life would feel like without you. But now, she's forced to feel the absence. At first, she might brush it off. She thinks, he's probably busy. He'll come back like he always does. He can't actually be moving on. But then a few days pass and suddenly the reality sinks in. You're no longer where she expected you to be. That's when the real shift happens. Her mind starts replaying memories of you, random moments, small details, things she never paid much attention to before. Now those details haunt her. She finds herself scrolling through old messages, looking at your profile more than she wants to admit. She starts noticing the way her life feels emptier, even if she won't say it out loud. And the worst part for her, she doesn't know what to do about it. She knows she could reach out, but she also doesn't want to seem weak. So she just waits, hoping that maybe you'll break the silence first. 7. Why she starts searching for your energy elsewhere. When a woman loses access to your energy, her instinct is to fill the void. But here's the harsh truth. No one else will feel like you did. At first, she might try to keep herself distracted. She'll go out more, post pictures acting unbothered, talk to other guys, even if they don't really interest her. But the problem is those distractions don't replace you. They only make her realize what's missing. What she had with you wasn't just attention. It was depth. You actually listened when she spoke. You made her feel seen in ways others didn't. You had presence, not just words. And when she tries to find that same energy elsewhere, she fails. The guys giving her attention feel shallow. The conversations feel forced. Deep down, she knows none of it compares to what she had with you. That's when the regret starts to set in. 8. The phase, where she pretends not to care. What most people don't realize is that women are masters at hiding their emotions, especially when they're losing control. So instead of showing that she's affected, she does the opposite. She acts unbothered. She takes longer to respond, if she even does. She might post things meant to make you think she's moved on. She might even act colder when she sees you. But inside, she's struggling. She thought she had more time. She thought you'd always be there, waiting for her to come back. Now she's left guessing. And when a woman starts guessing about you, she starts obsessing over you. Who are you talking to? Why aren't you chasing anymore? Did he actually move on? The thought of you moving on before her, that's what truly bothers her. The more she sees you thriving without her, the more she starts to realize she might have lost something she'll never get back. 9. The turning point that brings her back. Most people think a woman comes back because she misses you. Yes, missing you plays a role, but what really makes her reach out is the fear that she's lost her place in your life. Before, she knew exactly where she stood. She knew you'd always reply. She knew you'd always be available. But now she's not so sure, and that uncertainty drives her crazy. So she starts testing the waters. A random text that doesn't mean anything, a reaction to your post, a question she didn't actually need to ask. She's waiting to see if she still has the same effect on you. If you jump at the chance to talk to her, she'll know she still has you. But if you remain calm, indifferent, and focused on yourself, that's when her emotions intensify, because now she's the one chasing clarity. 10. Why she realizes you're different. Most people talk about self-respect, but few actually show it. She's used to guys falling apart the second she pulls away. She's used to men begging, over-explaining, and trying to win her back. But you did something completely different. You stayed grounded. You focused on your own life. You never let her emotional distance break your confidence. Now she sees you differently. For the first time, you're a person she has to work to get back. And that's what makes her crave you more than ever. 11. The realization that she lost control. A woman thrives on certainty. She needs to know she has options, influence, and control over her emotional world. But when you pull away, you take that certainty away from her. And that's when the internal chaos begins. At first, she tells herself, "It's fine, he'll come back." She reassures herself that you're probably just taking a break, waiting for the right moment to reconnect. But deep down, she's uncertain, and that's when she starts to lose control. 11. The moment. She realizes she's lost control, but then something unexpected happens. Days turn into weeks, and the moment she realizes that you're not coming back the way she expected, that's when she feels it. That's when she realizes something she never prepared for. She's lost control. She thought she had all the power. She thought you were always the one waiting, always ready to react to her moves. But now you're silent, you're absent, and worse, you seem completely unaffected. That's when she panics. For the first time in a long time, she's the one wondering, what's happening? Did I overestimate my importance in his life? Has he moved on? What if he never comes back? Attraction is built on uncertainty, and right now, she's deep in uncertainty. That sense of power she once held over you is slipping through her fingers, and now she can't stand the thought of losing something she thought she controlled. 12. The silent war inside her mind. A woman will never openly admit that she's struggling, but inside, she's battling a war she didn't expect to fight. She thought she was in complete control of the situation, but now she doesn't know where she stands. She won't text you right away. That would be too obvious. That would make it clear she's losing the emotional battle. Instead, she'll try to act like nothing is wrong. She'll keep herself distracted, keep herself busy, and try to tell herself that she doesn't care. But here's the truth. The more she tries to convince herself she doesn't care, the more she starts to realize she does. Because here's what she never expected. Your silence is forcing her to feel. She's checking her phone, hoping you'll text. She's scrolling through old messages, reliving memories. She's questioning if she made a mistake by pulling away. And every time she holds herself back from texting you, the tension inside her grows stronger. Every day that passes, she feels your absence more and more. And the worst part, she doesn't know what to do about it. Because reaching out means admitting she lost the battle. But staying silent means she might lose you for good. And that thought terrifies her. 13. The moment she tries to pull you back. When she can't take it anymore, she'll do what every woman does when she wants to regain control. She'll test the waters. But here's the thing. She won't make it obvious. She won't just text you out of nowhere and say, "I miss you." She'll try to be subtle. She might like an old photo of yours. She might watch your stories but not engage. She might post something she knows will catch your attention. And if those don't work, she'll take a different approach. She'll send a casual text, something that sounds innocent but is actually meant to see if she still has power over you. It could be something like, "Hey, I just saw something that reminded me of you. Hope you're doing okay. I still have that thing of yours. Should I drop it off?" None of these are random. They are calculated moves designed to make you react. Because the second you respond the way she expects, she wins. She knows she still has you. And if she knows she still has you, she no longer needs to chase. That's why this moment is so crucial. If you respond too eagerly, you give away all your progress. But if you remain calm, indifferent, and slightly distant, that's when she starts chasing. Because now, the power dynamic has completely shifted. Now she's the one uncertain about where she stands, and the more uncertain she is, the more she wants you back. 14. The shift in power that changes everything. This is the part that most men never fully grasp. Most men crumble the second a woman shows interest again. They start texting her constantly, acting too available, too eager, too invested. They make it too easy. But the second they do, the cycle repeats. Because the moment she feels like she has you again, she loses interest. Why? Because she doesn't have to work for you anymore. But the men who truly understand power dynamics do something different. They make sure that if a woman wants their attention again, she has to earn it. Here's what women respect. A man who values himself more than he values her validation. The second she realizes that she can't just walk back into your life without effort, that's when she starts truly wanting you back. She starts texting more frequently, becoming more expressive, more engaged. She starts trying to rebuild what she lost because now she sees you differently. Not as a man who's waiting for her, but as a man who's in control of his life. And that's when her entire perception of you changes. 15. The final move that makes her chase. This is where the real power lies. This is the part where you separate yourself from every other man, because now she's reaching out. She's showing interest again. But here's the ultimate question. What will you do next? Most men see this as a victory. They take her back immediately, thinking that they've won. But here's the reality. If you let her back in too easily, she'll lose interest just as fast. If you truly want to keep the power dynamic in your favor, then you have to show her one thing. You are no longer the same man she left behind. This means you don't chase. You don't overinvest. Will you become the man she can't stop thinking about? At the end of the day, the real power isn't in trying to make her miss you. It's in becoming the man who naturally leaves a lasting impact. If you got value from this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights like this. And if you're wondering what to do next, watch the video on your screen right now. It's the perfect follow-up to everything we just talked about.